Welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're going to break down the anatomy of a truly modern heroine, one who was created more than 200 years ago, Elizabeth Bennet from Pride and Prejudice. For over 2 centuries, readers have been absolutely captivated by her spirit and her intelligence. I mean, she's a character who feels so incredibly contemporary, even though she's living in a world with all these strict social codes and, let's be honest, very limited options for women. So what's the secret? Well, it's not about her just rebelling against society for the sake of it. No, it's something way more profound. It's a journey of internal growth, about learning that her sharpest tool, her own mind, could also be her biggest obstacle. Okay, let's dive into this. To really get Elizabeth, you have to understand just how different she was from the typical heroines of her time. Most of them were just, well, perfectly virtuous and kind of passive. Elizabeth's modernity? Oh, it comes from her active, independent mind. Here's the key to understanding what makes her so modern. She isn't trying to tear down the whole system of marriage and class. Nope. Instead, she's determined to navigate it on her own terms, demanding respect not just because she's a good woman, but because she has a mind. She's looking for a partner, not a proprietor. So, how does she get by in this world? Well, her main tool, her weapon of choice, is her incredibly sharp wit. She uses it to observe, to analyze, and most importantly, to judge the society that's just swirling all around her. You see, her intelligence isn't passive, it's an active force. It's like a shield she uses against all the pressure to marry for money, and it's a sword she uses to poke holes in the ridiculous performances of the people around her. This wit is exactly what makes her so compelling. But here's the catch. It's also the source of her biggest flaw, a blinding prejudice that comes from being so confident in her own judgment. And it all kicks off with this infamous public insult from Mr. Darcy. It's a direct hit to her pride, and it just instantly cements her negative first impression of him. He judged her on her looks, so she decides to judge his entire character right back. But this right here is what makes her Elizabeth. Instead of backing down, her intellectual courage just flares up. She doesn't just get upset, she gets ready for a fight. This one line pretty much sets the stage for their incredible battle of wits, a battle that she is absolutely determined to win. So this battle of wits keeps building and building, and it leads us to the novel's real turning point. But it's not some grand ballroom scene or a big public confrontation. No, it's a moment of painful private realization, and it's all sparked by a single letter. Right after his completely disastrous and insulting first proposal, Darcy just hands her a letter. And this letter, it systematically dismantles every single prejudice she has so proudly held on to. The charming Mr. Wickham is revealed to be a total liar. Darcy meddling with her sister, while yeah, it was misguided, wasn't actually malicious. The entire foundation of her judgment just crumbles. And this line? This is the real climax of her development. It's this moment of shattering self-awareness. Her pride and her own perception is just destroyed, and she has to admit that she was completely, totally wrong. This is what makes her so modern, the ability to use her own intelligence to critique herself. This newfound humility, it changes everything. It opens her up and lets her finally see people for who they actually are, not just for the parts they play in society. And you see this transformation most clearly during her unexpected visit to Darcy's home, Pemberley. At Pemberley, by listening to his staff and just seeing his home, she sees a completely different side of Darcy. She realizes his awful social manners were really just a defensive shield, hiding a deep moral character. That's a huge distinction, one she was way too prejudiced to even consider before. She learns that what people do in private says so much more than how they act at a party. So, Elizabeth's ultimate triumph isn't just about finding a husband and landing a great estate. Its true meaning really hits home when you compare her choice to the choices made by the other women in her life. So, look, you've basically got 3 different paths here. Her friend Charlotte marries Mr. Collins for pure pragmatism. She needs a house and security. Her sister Jane, who is all about passive goodness, finds happiness, but mostly because other people make it happen for her. But Elizabeth, she is different. She achieves a truly modern union, one that's built not on money or circumstance, but on mutual respect and shared growth. Her marriage to Darcy isn't a prize she wins at the end of a game. It is the ultimate validation of her entire journey. It's a partnership between two imperfect people who challenged each other, admitted they were wrong, and in the process made each other better. He fell in love with her lively mind, the very thing her society was trying to get her to tone down. In the end, Elizabeth Bennet's enduring legacy isn't just her famous wit or her fiery independence. It's her courage to turn that powerful intelligence inward, to challenge her own strongest beliefs, and to find the strength to completely change her own heart. And that is a journey that is still profoundly modern.